Welcome to the Con Guy Comic-Con Prep Show. Tonight we talk with super cosplayer Tahnee Harrison, also Kristen StephesonPino from the brand new film Best Friends, Part 1 and Part 2. You know, the one with Tommy Wiseau. Also, we dive headlong into this small little film called Avengers Infinity War, plus the latest Comic-Con news. I didn't mess up tonight! Yeah. Tonight! Yeah. All right.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's The Con Guy, Comic-Con Prep Show.
Lightsabers already.
Happy, a couple of days ago, May the 4th. All right, we're going to talk about that a little bit tonight. Welcome back to the Con Guy Comic-Con Prep Show. My name is Jim. I'm the managing editor for theconguy.com. All the news and things you love about fandom, pop culture, Comic-Cons, and comic book shops, about Han Solo and about Tommy Wiseau. We're going to get into that a little bit tonight. You can find me at theconguy.com. That's theconguy.com, or the website, theconguy.com. We have some great guests tonight. If you guys can go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Hi, my name's Derek. I'm a contributor to theconguy.com.
Hey, what's up? My name is Tahnee Harrison. You can find me on Instagram at the handle LoveTahnee, LoveTahnee.
Hey everybody, it's me, Ben Kliewer.
Hey, Ben.
I'm a periodic contributor to the Con Guy, actor, writer, comedian,
All around good guy.
con enthusiast,
Cosplayer.
cosplay on occasion.
I'm Kristen StephesonPino. You can find me on Instagram or Twitter at Kristen, Kesp.
And I'm Cheeseman on the couch with theconguy.com.
All right, thank you guys again for tuning in to the show tonight. If you are watching us on YouTube, please subscribe right there on YouTube. If you are listening to us on iTunes, give us a great review because that really helps us out. If you're listening to us anywhere else, you have pirated this, and I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah,
I just realized my
lightsaber
my
off.
I was like,
lightsabers-
what is that sound?
What's that sound? Like,
I was gonna point it out
Somebody's
in a minute. I didn't
growling.
want to interrupt you.
It just kept, like last week I was in the 10th, the celebration with Marvel of the 10th anniversary of 10 years of Marvel, and as Kevin Feige was standing at the table getting ready to give
No,
a
that's
toast.
the MCU, by the way.
Oh, the
Marvel
Marvel
Comics has been around a lot longer, if anybody's
Oh, yeah,
wondering.
it's
You sure about that?
10 years of the MCU started in 2008 with Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr., and Kevin Feige, who is kind of like, he's the president of Marvel, and he's the, he is basically Captain Marvel. He's the one that leads it. He was sitting there trying to give a toast, and they had this giant hand of Thanos that kept going, wow, and he kept on talking, goes, what the heck is going on here? So that's what that reminded me of. Listen, before we start tonight, I just wanted to say a very special Happy Mother's Day to my biggest fan, Mom, because I know you watch every week. And I asked her, what do you want for Mother's Day? She goes, I just want you to be here next weekend. She lives on the other coast, and sorry, Mom, I'm not going to be there, but you got this instead. But
You got another podcast next week.
Yeah, we got another podcast next week. Plus, I'm working this weekend. That stinks. It's
Call
all
your mother, Jim.
He's an assassin.
FaceTime.
Yes, this weekend is all Han Solo, the Han Solo press. Anyways, I'm not going to go into that right now. Right now, first thing first. This past weekend, we had like a conglomeration of all these holidays that came together. What were they? They were...
Cinco de
May
Mayo.
the 4th, Cinco de Mayo.
I'm still not recovered.
Avengers
And a 1
Infinity
week
War.
late, halfway to Halloween.
Halfway to Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
And halfway to Halloween, May the 4th, May the 5th, and May the 6th, and then Cinco.
Quattro de Cinco.
Quattro de Cinco. So,
Yeah, if you're a Arrested Development fan, Cinco de Quattro.
Cinco
Cinco de
Quattro.
Quattro, that's what it was.
It's when you destroy all the decorations.
So Cheeseman, you threw a great party, right?
I did. You helped throw it as well,
Just-
but we mixed all of them together strangely and had a Star Wars themed, Halloween themed / fiesta
And
kind
I
of thing.
think we have we just had
Otherwise known as every comic book convention ever.
and we have a little bit
Good
right here.
cosplay mashups for that one.
You can go ahead and hit play. That well, I would play by
wow.
itself. So Halloween Fiesta,
Oh, my
May the
little
4th
graphic.
be with you. And then there's
there it
there's
is.
Yoda
Yeah.
overlooking everything. Sorry, those of you on the couch you can't see. This is Katie, who's on the show.
Katie.
She's Wednesday Leah.
Oh, there you
I
go.
like it. Oh,
There's
Jim.
Jim.
Your face.
That's
Cinco de Jimmo.
that's terrifying.
There's the Bumble app.
Christine, the Bumble. That is the Bumble app. Yeah.
There's
that
Ethan, Lord.
It's a Lord Sith something. And I don't know who those people are, but
There's some Brad's friends, but
they're on some
they
soap
did a good
opera.
job
Just
on it.
showed up.
Look at that.
It's Evil Morty.
There we go.
It's
And there's man on Rocket.
Fair rabbit.
oh, where's Rocket at? Where's the rabbit? Yeah. And then look,
our friend
Marvel
Marie
and DC
as Wonder Woman.
can
That's
get
great.
along.
Yeah, that's true.
So
What a match.
That was great. That was great. It was a fun party. Did you guys do anything for May the 4th? Anybody?
Well, I went out to dinner with my fiance because it was our pre-anniversary.
That's right.
Oh, that's nice.
We're getting married next year on May the 4th.
That's interesting
know.
because I went out with my wife because it was the 5th anniversary of our first date.
There you go.
May the 4th. Yeah.
Gosh, all these May the 4th.
You guys are
anniversaries.
really nerdy.
Oh, yeah.
You just don't know.
We went to a schmancy restaurant called The Little Door over kind of in Mid-City, close to Beverly Hills, and it was dope. I had, what was it? Monkfish. That's what I ate.
Interesting.
Pancetta-wrapped monkfish. Google monkfish. It's the ugliest creature on God's earth.
That sounds gross.
And
deep sea fish.
but it's like a deep yeah,
Okay.
exactly. It looks like a smushed anglerfish or something. It's got those needle teeth, but the medallions were delicious.
That's great. Jim, what you got in a bag of cool
I've got
stuff.
it back here. If you can see, if you can read, instead of my face, free comic book day, first Saturday of
Saturday,
May.
May.
It just happened this last week. I got some really
I
cool
didn't get
stuff.
a bag.
I got a lot of stuff though. I mean,
Now,
I don't know what that is.
Jim, can you tell us what your comic book shop is?
My local, it was Earth 2 Comics over in Sherman Oaks, and I also stopped by what's the one in
House of Secrets.
House of Secrets in
What if-
Burbank.
Ooh, I would want that one.
Yeah, I mean, this is I love the Phoenix stuff, and
Yeah.
here's Death of Phoenix. Here's
Those
the,
are my favorite comics.
So Death
of
of
all
Phoenix
time.
and
The Phoenix
what if,
ones?
Yeah.
And what if Phoenix had
Dark
not
Phoenix
died?
Saga.
I think
Yeah.
the Phoenix Saga is just amazing. You know,
Yeah.
the Phoenix movie got moved to next year
Okay.
for Fox. I think it's a new trilogy. It might actually be a trilogy of films.
Interesting.
We'll see what happens.
I mean, maybe if they do it right. that'd be
Thanos
good.
Yeah, fingers
Rising.
crossed.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Lots and lots of stuff. What?
What
is
happened to the new Mutants movie? I saw a trailer
Deadpool
for it.
talking
now.
jive. That got bumped to next year too.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
But the trailer was
That's the one that's like a horror movie.
yeah.
Right?
The trailer was so
And has
good.
That's actually going through like some reshoots, and it's not coming out till
November, right?
I believe it was August 28th.
Oh, really?
Yeah, don't quote me on that though. But
Cool
definitely
guy
next
Tony,
year.
do you know if
Quote
that has anything to do
Anthony.
with the Disney acquisition?
It possibly could be, but if it is, it's super under wraps, and they're probably just blaming it on like upping the scare factor. That was like the last little tidbit that I heard about that they.
If
wanted
that's
to,
the case, I'm
Interesting.
down.
Yeah, they really
Yeah.
wanted to push the boundaries of what a PG-13 horror film could be without actually.
So they're keeping it
breaking
PG-13,
R.
huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
By the way, that's Anthony talking, guys. He's the voice of reason. He's the voice of God in the
He's
room
the
right
voice
now.
of inspiration,
The Lord.
information. Yeah.
He's the Force.
We also have a something called Adventures with Con Guy. You will see some of our adventures this last week during Comic Book Day. That's a cool little.
Yeah, when
nifty-
Jim was
I like
getting
the
free
logo.
comic book days, I was standing outside in like 90-degree
This
weather
is-
in this Star-Lord
Well, no, there's
outfit.
me with my very first
Oh,
group
there we
of
go.
Comic Con
And comfortable
superheroes.
shorts.
And there's
breathable
our
shirt.
buddy. There's Ant-Man.
He's a good Ant-Man.
Yeah,
Yes.
and
That's great.
It's a
There's
great.
Thomas, who's been on the show as
Thomas
Black
looks
Panther.
great.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
me doing a selfie as Star-Lord, which a guy took a picture of me taking a selfie because he thought that was interesting.
Well, that is very
As you
sad.
do.
And they had
An artist, live art there.
Is this in Sherman Oaks?
This one's in
2,
Sherman Oaks.
uh,
That's the writer of
over
the
in Northridge.
Oh, the comedy Star Wars book.
Oh, Adventures? Star Wars Adventures?
Hig and Tank, Tug and Tank. Oh, what's the
Oh,
name?
yeah. I know what you're talking about, but I can't recall the name off the top of my
Oh
head.
man,
People giving autographs.
yeah, but no, they're actually in the new Solo movie.
Tom looks so good as Black Panther.
I know it's
Yeah.
a brand new suit. He just had it
Grew a
ordered.
goatee
Nice.
for it too.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of these
That's a great looking shop.
pictures. This is Earth to Comics over in Sherman Oaks, and then in a second we move.
Yeah,
that's a
went to
different
two
shop.
different locations. Yeah, that was the.
It's over in. That's
on
that's
like Lancashire.
That's
And then
Lancashire.
That's the last
nice.
one that's around. Not too far from AfterBuzz, actually.
So, for those who don't know, the first Saturday of every May has become free comic book day. You can go in, usually you can get about somewhere between 3 to 5 comic books. They would love for you to buy even more, but it was so crowded in every comic book shop we were in this
Well,
weekend.
just to clarify, you don't just get to go in and pull any 3 comics off the
no.
shelf for free. They have special printed issues
yeah, like
to hand out
Yes,
for free.
and usually they have sales on other comics.
Sure,
too,
yeah,
special
yeah,
deals
yeah.
for that day.
Like 30% off kind of stuff I
Yeah,
was seeing. Yeah.
I got some cool stuff for there before.
like Yeah, that doesn't say it on it. But anyways, some of them say.
Yeah,
like,
they'll
free-
say like free comic book day
Free comic
edition
book day.
or
You had
something.
earlier did.
I have a
we
feeling
did
I
show 'em off,
stole a
so.
bunch of comic books on accident. I
No,
wasn't supposed to
the True
take these.
Believers series, I think, is
Okay, good.
was their free comic book day version.
If I was supposed to buy those, I apologize.
No.
Thief.
Well, now you just admitted to thievery
Yeah,
on the
on a
air.
live
I know that's
podcast.
Action Comics #1.
Talking Jim.
I got some good stuff though. Those Phoenix things. I even got a
Yeah.
Phoenix graphic novel. It's fantastic art. It's like the return of Phoenix, and she comes back. Jean Grey is dead, and she doesn't have anywhere to go. I think it's the resurrection of Jean Grey. I'm not sure. I haven't read that. I'm getting ready to read that one. I too love the Phoenix story. It's,
My
Spoilers.
sister would literally love this show.
Oh, yeah?
She knows. Oh my gosh, she'd be able to answer that for you easy. She'd be like, no, you're wrong. This is blah blah blah. blah.
Well, actually,
Yeah, basically.
wait,
my favorite kind of nuts.
Chris is like, my sister would love the show. I, on the other hand,
No, I hosted. I got picked up for this gig where I hosted for Comic-Con for the first time.
did you really?
Yeah, it was really cool. And I sat there, and the first day I was like, okay, I wasn't sure what it was about. And next thing you know, I have people coming up to me, they're like, you don't belong here.
Oh, wow.
You don't know anything about comics. I just see it. And I'm sitting there going, all right. So every day I started getting dressed up. And then at the end of it, I was full dressed as Princess Leia when she had like her little chain outfit or whatever.
outfit.
Golden
Quote,
bikini.
Yeah,
quote
I
unquote
like-
slave Leia.
Chain outfit thing. Yeah.
Hey,
That-
I made a
that'll
comeback.
always
I
get
made a
you.
comeback in
The
that
inaugural
Adventures
Give
Give
Yeah.
me the
okay?
lightsaber.
That's the not nerd girl starter kit to becoming an accepted nerd.
I was not accepted at all.
You're not a nerd. What if I was in a bikini? Okay, you're cool.
Yeah, no, basically.
Well, speaking of Comic Cons and things coming up, we have a bulletin board list of a bunch of things
Yeah.
that all nerds and everybody else can have a lot of fun with.
Let's read this.
Let's read this.
So
Sarah.
coming up this week, May 10th in Hollywood, there is the Solo: A Star Wars Story red carpet premiere.
I will be there and taking pictures, and
Awesome.
it'll be
Well, for those who won't be there,
Right.
it's going to be streamed live on StarWars.com.
fantastic.
And then this weekend, Tidewater Comic Con is in Virginia Beach, Virginia, May 11th to 13th.
That's
I know,
a
that's
great
where-
name.
You ought to
How'd my
get your
family go?
Tidewater.
get
Yeah.
your nephew to go to that.
Tidewater.
And then at the same time, if you're on the West Coast, you can go to Universal Studios Hollywood and check out the Jurassic Park 25th anniversary celebration.
We will be there
I'm
this
going
weekend.
to that one.
I want to go.
Right, cool.
And then 1 week later, May 18th, Deadpool 2 opens up in theaters. And that same weekend is WhedonCon in Woodland Hills, California.
Yep.
And then, let's see, the following weekend, the Memorial Day weekend, May 24th to 27th, Phoenix Comic Fest in Phoenix, Arizona, which has over 100,000 people, and you've got to register wristbands.
Yeah, there's some notes on that. They've sent out the wristbands.
Yeah.
And what?
But don't put them on yet.
Yeah, don't put them on because
Because they're going to stay on when you put them on.
You
Like
can't
so
take
many
them off.
wristbands for events. Yeah, you want to wait until it's close to it. You won't be able to adjust it or anything once you get it on there. Yeah, you could like maybe carefully play with it and pretend, but don't fasten it.
no, do not put it on.
Yeah. And then that same weekend, MegaCon Orlando, May 24th through 27th in Orlando, Florida. That also has over 100,000 attendees. And Comic Palooza, May 25th through 27th in Houston, Texas, which is the largest con in Texas. And since everything in Texas is huge, that's going to
It's
be big.
Biggin.
And then let's see, Niagara Falls Comic Con, June 1st through 3rd in Niagara Falls. And then
That'd
the
be a fun one
Supernatural
to go to.
Convention, it definitely would. You could, take a little tour by the falls, re-experience Jim and Pam's wedding, and then go back and
Go over in a barrel.
Is that where they got married?
you just need to go back and rewatch that. Yeah.
I didn't watch
Yes, it's beautiful. Jim and Pam's wedding is like one of the most moving things on television ever. I'm just saying.
He's not wrong.
Yeah. All right, the Supernatural Convention is for, of course, the TV show Supernatural. That's June 8th through 10th in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
I'm only in season 4.
Good grief.
Oh.
You're 10 seasons behind.
I have 600 episodes to
Yeah.
catch up on.
Well, like those first 5 seasons, I still say are the best.
Well, they're
And
the
then they're-
original story arc.
Yes.
And then after that, they were like, well, the story arc's done, but let's just keep making the show
Yeah.
for 9 more years.
It was still really popular, and lots of those seasons since then are still really fun.
Well, you know,
And it's, some of them like they go up and down a little, but it's still entertaining.
well, you know what I learned recently was that Jensen Ackles was originally considered to play Captain America in the
Yep.
MCU.
I have heard this.
I could see that.
And then because they kept making more Supernatural, he ended up just kind of sticking with that.
Yeah.
Wow.
But he
that's
seems to
okay.
enjoy it. I
Well,
think it's fine. Yeah.
Did you see Scooby Natural?
They don't have enough
I
seasons.
did not.
so-
I have not watched it
because
yet.
I'm 9 seasons
Yeah.
behind, Jim.
You don't need to catch up. It's so good. What?
It could be a standalone because I mean I don't know a lot of the show, but it was was hilarious.
Yeah.
They did a really good job.
It was fantastic.
A lot of their really great episodes you can see as standalones and be okay, I think.
That's true.
Scooby Natural, is that what it sounds like?
Yes.
It's a supernatural
Just making
Scooby-Doo
sure.
crossover.
Yeah.
They became cartoon characters with Scooby-Doo and the gang, and they had to solve a crime. And for the first time ever, the Scooby gang found out there really are killers out there. There was blood.
People
It's
with
really
masks
dark
on.
and twisted Scooby.
Dark.
Okay.
Did the Harlem Globetrotters show up at all?
this-
No, not this time. All right. Gilligan's Island.
And then finally, there's one other item on the list. San Diego Comic-Con is 10 weeks from now.
Is that a new
July 18th to 22nd.
That's
You know,
First
it's
year for
growing.
that
I haven't
one.
heard of that one before.
First year
Get
Comic-Con.
Yeah.
So yeah, Sandy. Let's talk a little bit about. Thank you, Derek. Let's talk a little bit about San Diego Comic Con.
That's a good idea.
We have a little bit of news about it. First and foremost, the parking lottery. I think we're in round 2 or 3 right now. If you guys signed up for the parking lottery, don't give up because most of it's not sold out yet. I heard as of yesterday, the only thing that was sold out parking wise was the convention center itself.
Is there parking at our hotel?
I don't know.
We should have probably figured that out.
No, I'm in the lottery. I'm in round 4.
Oh,
so
okay. Gotcha.
But we're 1 mile from the hotel, so I think we can walk there.
Yeah.
You'd walk there, wouldn't you?
I could do a mile walk. I mean, it depends on how intense my cosplay is that day.
That's
you know.
so true.
How much Warbler are you wearing?
I know.
I'm doing Abraham again in the tank
Are you wearing
top
a
if it's
wig?
that hot.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So I mean that's kind of the thing is like if Carrie was here, she probably parks 2 miles away from the convention center to avoid. She never pays. She never pays to park.
Yeah,
She's the guru of free parking.
Kind of amazing at it.
So Kevin Smith has announced 3 shows. Of course, they're doing Fat Man on Batman. They're doing I don't know the other. Have you ever seen the show, Luke Cheeseman, on the
Which
couch?
show?
Kevin Smith.
No, more of the movies. I should watch. I like Kevin Smith, but I haven't seen a lot of his shows. I need to leave. I'm sorry.
So, all right, and just a couple more things. Are you guys familiar at all with Castle Rock, the new show coming on Hulu?
Yeah, it looks kind of amazing.
Can you? What do you know about it?
Well, it's in the Stephen King universe, basically. There are all these ways that his books sometimes tie together, and basically Castle Rock is this fictional town where a whole bunch of things from Stephen King's books kind of interact. And they've actually got a number of actors who've been in famous Stephen King movies.
Jack Nicholson?
Oh,
I
that'd
don't
be
think so,
great.
but I wouldn't be
Oh, that'd be
surprised if they
great.
found a way to bring him in eventually.
That'd be
Sissy
sick.
Spacek, and
Sissy Spacek's in it? Oh, she's like. Oh, never mind. Keep going.
yes, and then the Skarsgård who played Pennywise. I get the Skarsgårds confused. Is it Bill?
Bill.
I think it was Bill, yeah.
Okay, Bill Skarsgård.
Ta-ta.
Yeah, and then I forget who else, but there are several, and it's really like creepy and fascinating, and this whole thing about like the town being cursed and turning
Sounds really
people
cool.
evil, and yeah, there are some great trailers online for it already.
Yeah, I didn't know about that whole shared Stephen King universe thing until recently.
If you read the Dark Tower books,
Well, that's the
it's,
thing.
It's a
I've
shared
never,
multiverse.
I've never
but-
read the Dark Tower books, but one of my close buddies has read like all of them, and he's like, "Oh yeah, it's like it's the shared universe, but they're like these portals into the different things, and then the creature from it comes back, and blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Holy crap, this sounds amazing!" I don't have time to read it.
And it's so cool. Castle Rock's all of them together.
I was just going to say his brain. I can't imagine
Yeah.
being that man.
I
Like,
know.
does he ever sleep? I would never be able to sleep with a brain like that.
And did you mention J.J.
Terrible
Abrams?
myself.
This is
I
from,
did not.
This is from J.J. Abrams.
Oh right.
So this is a big deal. J.J. Abrams and Stephen King working together. This little guy.
wow.
And anyways, the whole reason we're talking about it is because they are having a massive takeover of something at San Diego Comic-Con this year.
So we
which
don't know
should
what
be-
yet?
We
Just
don't know what it
some
is.
big takeover?
They have announced we will be announcing. We will be there. It's a massive. They're calling it a massive takeover. So
a massive takeover of Jim's hotel room.
That's fine.
Just Stephen King shows up, and all your
Stephen King's
nightmares
just
come
gonna
true.
hang out, and he's gonna watch you sleep.
Red Rum.
oh my
Yeah.
gosh. And we were talking about
Watch you sleep.
Once we get into July, we'll have a special show about all the offsites and parties and things that are happening. But we know one that is happening. It is Supernatural, the Supernatural Wiki party, which was not there last year. It was there 2 years ago because I spent $200 on tickets to that thing. And I showed
They
up.
took it pretty well.
got there too
And
late.
I
will
showed up
say
as it was
took it pretty
closing.
well.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Everybody expected me just to lose my crap, and I almost did. Well,
Let's see, what else did we have?
Oh, and then the Her Universe fashion show is back.
Yeah, and Kevin Feige has announced they're not doing any Marvel panel in Hall H.
Yeah, we will bring that into our Avengers discussion a little bit later. But there's a reason for that. Like, everyone in the room has seen Avengers. Everyone in the world almost has seen Avengers. It's time for everybody to go back and see it a second time.
And half of you are still alive.
Yeah.
BTW, spoiler alert. 'Cause we got some sort of
Spoiler
alarm
alert.
going,
I was gonna say
or-
they only need half the space now for the Marvel panel.
I know.
Yeah.
No. We haven't spoiler alerted it yet. So we will do that when we talk about it.
What?
Spoiler alert!
Well,
but anyways,
Let's move on to our wonderful guest.
I went into the movie expecting that for a lot of big characters to die.
yes, and you were not let down. So we're going to talk about Kevin
Spoiler.
Feige's announcement. It is directly related to the end of this movie, and so why they're not bringing a panel. All right.
Okay.
We have some.
one more thing about Comic-Con. If you're getting a trade professional badge,
Yeah.
you need to register for it before next Monday in order to get it mailed to you. If you get it after that, you're gonna have to pick it up at the convention center, which is a big pain.
Yeah.
Because as we know, it just keeps getting bigger every year. So yeah, next Monday, May 14th is the deadline if you want to get it mailed to your mailing address.
And we are going to reiterate: verify your address. Verify your address.
Yes.
You need to go in and verify it this year.
both addresses,
Both addresses.
home address and shipping address. They get listed separately for some reason.
Brand new this year. They're making it so hard, but
I think I'm verified then. It said verified.
okay.
Yeah.
In the thing when I went on there.
We'll probably get a thing that said it. I did. I was like, oh, that's good. Ding.
All right. We are very privileged to have two very talented, very beautiful guests with us today. And we are Tahnee Harrison. Thank you for coming and being with us today. Tahnee, we met last year at Comic-Con. Is that where we met? Comic-Con?
Well, we saw her at the Joseph Kim party, the hero
We
from my
saw her
friend.
one time.
Wait. We saw her where?
It was the Joseph Kim party.
The blog Game of Bloggers.
Game of Bloggers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You went to Game of Bloggers party.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know Joseph Kim, crazy for Comic-Con, and then so you probably know Carrie then, because Carrie, she helps out a lot with that. So anyways, we are going to, Anthony, we have some cool photos to show. For Tahnee is what you would call
that's cool.
kind of like a professional cosplayer. Can you talk to us a little bit about like when you got into cosplay and kind of what's going on?
Yeah, sure. I just got into it for fun, honestly. It was something that I always wanted to do. I grew up in Las Vegas and none of my friends were into it at all, but I always secretly wanted to do it. It was on my bucket list. And then when I moved to LA, there's like this whole gathering mecca of nerds. So I felt like it was just something you do as like a rite of passage. And so I kind of started probably about like 2.5 years ago. And my first one was actually Suicide Squad Harley Quinn.
Oh, the one we saw.
Oh, that was my first one.
There's
Yeah.
Suicide Squad right there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, to do
That's
that
your
for
very
first one, that's really
your
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
one.
That's
That's
my
pretty
first one,
amazing.
yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that explains why it's so sloppy.
She's supposed to be sloppy.
I'm just joking. That's great.
And Ben, you
that's
guys know
Princess
each other, right?
Yeah, we met just through the whole cosplay community thing a while back, and
It's a very small community.
yeah, it's a lot of people, but very small. Like everybody's in each other's business, but no, there are lots of wonderful people.
Oh, wait, what's this one right here,
lots
by
of
the
very
way?
talented
That we're-
people.
So that is that's actually my first version of Yennefer of Vengerberg from The Witcher 3. I did it a second
Another
time
first time.
because I
Perfectly
love
done.
her in that game so much. And they're actually making a Netflix show based on this video game, and
interesting.
I'm so ready for it. I can't even tell you. Oh
Video
my
game
gosh.
nerd.
Oh my gosh. This game, if you have not played it, I mean, I sound like I'm repping them right now, but this game is literally like the most beautiful game I've ever seen. It has the most beautiful music, the best storyline, the best characters. It's just...
What's the
I
game
love
one
it.
more time?
The Witcher 3
Witcher
Wild
3.
Hunt. Yeah.
Okay,
I
yeah,
haven't
but
played The
have you
Witcher
been
1
playing-
and 2, so
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. Have you been playing Hogwarts Mystery?
Okay.
I
I downloaded it and I started playing it, but I had to wait 4 minutes, or I had to pay 99 cents
Yeah.
for life, and I was like, no, I'm done.
Nope.
we all ran into that.
I'm
They
not
did start giving
patient.
away free gems yesterday, I think, because everybody
they
was
did?
complaining about that online.
that was- yeah,
or
okay.
sometime in last week.
nobody has 4
got
minutes
100.
in
I don't
today's
have
society.
4 minutes. Jeez.
Yeah.
So we saw really cool. There's a Game of Thrones cosplay.
Oh,
here.
that's good.
This is pretty amazing.
That one, honestly, I just love her, but the character. But I honestly should probably, like, you're supposed to do the character that you probably more resemble or whatever. But so I should probably do Cersei because I've heard I look more like Cersei, so I
Oh,
just look
yeah,
like
I
a
can
huge
see that.
bitch, I guess. But
But if you just,
but
you
I
can
love
also
her
just do a
too. I
character
think
you
she's
love.
a really cool
Yeah.
character too, Cersei, and I love The actress Lena
adorable.
Headey is
She
like the
spelled out
best
bitch.
actress. I know. Oh, you never know.
We're late. We're late night. We get one F-bomb per show.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's only one?
I'll keep that in mind.
That Daenerys is still pretty cool looking.
Oh, thank you.
I mean,
yeah, I really want to do Cersei though before the last season because I don't know if you guys are Game of Thrones nerds,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I've read all the books.
Oh, have you really?
I'm.
That's hardcore.
I know there's like parodies of like people that are Game of Thrones fans, and there's like that one person that's like, well, I've read the books and like I'm not allowed to have an opinion. But no, I'm not like that. I swear.
So isn't there like another book where everyone's waiting with bated breath for?
Not with bated breath anymore because
it won't
I
come
don't
out.
know. At this point, like
Oh, and Wonder
Yeah.
Woman.
that's
Yeah.
really impressive.
Thank you. That one is probably that one and my new Yennefer are probably my two favorites.
Well, and the
So-
biggest thing that impresses me, because last time I saw you, Tahnee, was at WonderCon? Yes, it was WonderCon. And I was just talking to you about your Wonder Woman costume, and it's not like something you bought off the rack. Like, you made that, right?
Yeah, I did.
Seriously,
Yeah. She
I did.
built that.
Thank you.
that's fantastic.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
That's
Yeah.
freaking awesome.
It's
Yeah.
really fun. Like, if anybody's watching that wants to get into cosplay and hasn't done it before, just literally go on YouTube. And if you're wanting to make armor with foam, there's just Evil Ted is like the best foam guy that I've ever seen. He'll teach you everything, top to bottom.
Evil Ted.
And you can find that online?
And you can find it on YouTube. If you want to do sewing, like I follow Professor Pincushion. She's my favorite. I learned how to sew just from watching her YouTube channel. She's incredible. So like you can learn everything like online. It's incredible. It's just amazing.
So what? I mean, we're kind of looking at the cosplay right now. What is this
Yeah.
made from?
So that's made from a high density, very thin, probably like 3mm foam that I got actually from Foam Mart in Burbank. And the reason you want to use a high density foam is that when you take a heat gun to it, you can form and shape it so much better, and it's also more durable, and it looks less like foam after you coat it or seal it. And I use Plasti Dip to seal it, so it's a game changer when you use the high density foam. So. Yeah.
Nice. So how long have you been doing cosplay?
About 2.5 years
That's it?
now, a little over 2.5 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
I'm kind of amazed that you could learn
thank
this
you.
stuff that quickly and have it look that good.
That's so nice. I
That
appreciate
inspires me to
Yeah, do it.
go out
Like,
and do some
yeah.
great things. Because I'm kind of like the cheap guy. I use what's in the closet or what I can find on Amazon Prime and combine.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I
that's
know
good,
people
too.
don't like that. Some people are very judgmental
no,
about
no,
it.
no,
No,
Right.
Carrie's
No way.
Carrie's what
Yeah.
you use in the it's what closet cosplayer.
Closet cosplay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Make it work.
no, it's a lot of times, honestly, like if you're sewing something from scratch and you're buying the fabric, it can sometimes cost way more than if you can just buy it like on Amazon or whatever. So that makes sense a lot of the time anyway. But yeah, if you have a character that you just absolutely love, like that's who you should do. Like,
Cool.
'cause, yeah.
I've got one in mind. but
Really?
I-
Who is it?
Speaking of, go ahead.
I want to hear.
Okay, I only started reading Sandman a few years ago, and now I'm at like issue like of the graphic novel versions where
Yes.
it's kind of collected
Yes.
stuff. I'm at like book 4, I think.
Okay.
And I'm loving it, and I would love to do that cosplay, the
Yeah,
one
you
that's like a
should.
black cape type thing
Yeah,
with
yeah,
the
yeah.
body paint, and if I could get
Yeah.
the black contacts
be sick.
and a wig, it would look so awesome. Anyway.
wait.
I'm in love with the character, and I love Neil Gaiman.
I've
so
got
I
one you
really-
can do, Derek.
Yes.
I know. Okay, imagine Derek. Okay, look at Ben. See if you can guess. Ben, what if Derek had black glasses and a cane? Who would he be?
Actually, red glasses.
Red glasses, and a cane.
Oh.
Yeah.
Red glasses and a
You,
cane.
you gotta
And a
look-
suit, wearing a suit.
Oh yeah, he's got more clothes on. He's in a suit
Only red glasses and a cane? Otherwise
Yes.
he's nude?
and a lawyer's suit.
Oh, yeah, he could totally be Matt Murdock.
Yeah, Matt Murdock.
Absolutely.
I think he should
Might
do
have
that.
When you said red
Yeah.
glasses, I was thinking like red frame.
A little
Daredevil
more
glasses.
scruff, hair just a little longer.
Yeah, Matt Murdock, a.k.a. Daredevil.
I think
Yeah.
Derek would be good because, like, Luke, you and Tom and a bunch of the guys, they do the comic book day stuff, and you do like some charitable
Done
organization.
the hospital visit, and also like kind of running for like
Yeah.
brain cancer kind of stuff.
'Cause you're wearing,
We'll be
like,
at the events.
a really cool
take
cosplay
pictures
that,
with the kids and stuff.
that Tom puts these together.
Yeah.
And
Thanks, Tom.
And you were trying to talk Tom into getting Derek a Daredevil outfit, right?
Well, you're not. Tom likes to be friends with people that are the same size. He's like, "What waist are you?" Or, "Hey, you wear this outfit here, so
That's how he chooses
you may
his
have
friends.
to get."
Well,
Yeah, that way he can buy a costume that he can also wear.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it
Speaking
works.
of characters that you really love, we have a video here of you that we would love for you to kind of take
Yeah,
us
I'm
through.
excited to see this.
This is a really cool video.
Oh, thanks.
All right, let's see.
My father made a discovery.
And that's your voice too, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
That's my English accent.
Where were you
Now
guys
I
filming
have
this?
to find
Real
a way
tears.
Everywhere.
All over.
Oh wow.
Put an end
So
to it
nice
all.
desert
All the
shot.
Southwest, like
Wow.
Nevada, Arizona, Utah, New Mexico, Colorado. Those falls. It was 9 degrees
Oh
my.
when
Wow.
we filmed that, and I was
How many
that was
shoot days was it?
difficult.
Paid for this.
I
know, this is amazing.
We did it all ourselves. Wow. We did it all ourselves, and
You
the,
did not have a
Kickstarter?
helicopter. Please tell me.
that is all VFX. Jesse Patella, VFX.
Yeah.
He's incredible.
Laura Croft, in
Yeah.
case you guys are
and you
wondering.
really got the classic video game Lara Croft look.
Croft.
Yeah.
I really like that.
That part was really that I love that shot. He was just like our cinematographer also. Alex Bissell is incredible, like legit.
Now, my question, is this strictly a trailer, or is this a trailer for a short that you guys did?
So regarding
Or a
that
feature.
money issue that you brought up earlier,
Right.
it's,
It's a sizzle reel.
it is a sizzle reel. Potentially something later, yeah, if we could. I don't know, we'll see. It was really, really fun, and as you can see, he's just so dang good. Like,
Some things are not meant to be found.
That is stinking
Wow.
amazing.
thank you.
That is
Yeah.
pretty epic.
Where can our viewers
is pretty
find it?
cool.
How do they look it up on YouTube?
Tomb Raider Relic of Time.
Yeah, Tomb
Yeah.
Raider
And we
Rabbit
will
Time.
also we'll post it on our website so they can find it as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
We do have a question from
Okay.
a viewer. And this would be for you there, Tahnee. Have you seen any 3D printed stuff? They said they saw a bunch of solo gear for sale on eBay. Do you know much about the 3D printed type stuff, how that kind of works out?
Yeah, 3D printed stuff. 3D printed stuff is great if you're like wanting to do a cosplay and wanting it to be as exact as possible. I've done it twice now. So I've done it in my new Yennefer, she has these really awesome kind of knee armor pieces that are just impossible to replicate. So I actually had those 3D printed. Also like buttons or just like really small details that maybe you don't want to kind of like make out of clay. So like, yeah, if you're wanting to get something as exact as possible, then 3D printing is the way to go.
I did see some impressive
Yeah.
3D printed stuff before. There was another Daenerys Targaryen I saw, I think it was at WonderCon, who had this 3-headed dragon brooch.
Oh yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
that was
exactly.
all just 3D printed.
Yeah.
if
For
you
sure.
guys go ahead. Somebody had a question? If you had to like perhaps like gauge or like a guess on what would be some of the hottest cosplays of this year, and Ben, maybe you could jump in as well. Like, what are we looking at? You know, the summer season's here, the con season is here. What kind of things do you think we'll be seeing?
Thanos.
A lot of Thanos. Yeah, I'm sure we'll see some
Deadpool,
really.
probably again.
Deadpool
Yeah, a lot of
too, yeah.
Deadpool. I think there's gonna be a lot of Domino from Deadpool too.
Oh yeah.
There's probably gonna be a lot of guys doing another
Han Solo.
Brolin character.
Do you think we're gonna get Han Solo?
Yeah.
oh,
For
there'll
sure.
be a
I mean,
lot of
there's always
Han.
Han Solo anyway.
There'll be a
like,
lot
there's
of
always Star Wars
young
anyway.
Han. Yeah,
But
there'll be a lot of young
Han.
Han, and there'll be a lot of Cable. I think.
What about from the world of video games? What do you anything or
Horizon, Alloy. Although that's kind of
Recent.
recently.
I'm trying to think of what's.
Fortnite?
Yeah,
Fortnite,
Fortnite.
yeah,
Definitely
yeah.
Fortnite.
Overwatch?
Yeah, there's always Overwatch.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, the Overwatch is pretty consistent theme.
Okay.
A lot of people.
Those are such hard costumes to recreate too. Like whenever I see those, I'm just amazed.
And they do such good
Like
work too.
it's like the Mercy, with the wings. I'm just
Yeah.
like, oh my god. Like, I don't know how people do that. That's awesome.
So what do you have coming up? Anything?
I'm shooting a project that I don't think I'm allowed to talk about, but it involves a bank robber. That's probably all I can really say.
That's how she's paying for that.
Yeah.
She's robbing
So,
banks.
yeah, literally. Jeez.
Yeah.
What else? That's the main acting project that I'm working on right now. And aside from that, cosplay-wise, I'm kind of like, I just want to keep working on Witcher stuff.
Yeah.
Like, the thing with me is, like, I don't know how other people feel about this, but, like, even though that, like, the Avengers and, like, is out right now, and that's, like, the big thing to do, I kind of, like, I just do the ones that I really love, even if it's, like, years later. It's just, I don't know.
I think that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the most. Some people do, not across the board, but some people do cosplay and they just do the latest thing that's the hottest thing,
Yeah.
and they get photos of it and throw that online, and some people
And
make
it
a living
works,
off of that.
and they get a lot of followers from it. But
For my money, I would say, this is my personal opinion, the best cosplay, regardless of the actual quality of your cosplay, the best cosplay is you dressing up as something that you want to dress up as because you love it, and that's where it all began, and
Yeah.
that's my favorite.
yeah,
So.
I agree.
Cool. Luke, do you have anything before we...
I'm like the poor man's cosplay. Or if Thomas is like,
very
hey, I got something you can
He
wear.
makes friends with people who have cosplay.
You're talking
Well,
to the guy that dressed up as Silver Linings Playbook for Halloween. I wore a trash bag. Nice. Jumpsuit.
And that's the other thing, the whole Amazon Prime cosplay thing, like that's like a trope almost in the cosplay community, and it's like some people are like, yeah, Amazon Prime, buy all your stuff off Amazon Prime, pay $30 for your entire cosplay and wear it to a con, and then some people like poo-poo that idea.
Yeah.
And because some people like get down on that idea, Bree and I have a couple.
Who's Bree?
My fiance, Brianna. Bree and I have a couple's cosplay that's all Amazon Prime, and we're gonna reveal it sometime. We were gonna do it at Comic-Con last year, and then we held off on it. But we're gonna do it at one of the later cons this year, and we'll take pictures and stuff. And I don't want to say anything about it yet, but it's gonna be hilarious. I think.
right.
It's gonna be fun and funny.
Intriguing.
We're gonna have to move on because we got another guest.
Yeah, we got
We're
more
gonna
stuff.
But thank you so much for and please jump
absolutely.
in. But I just want I have so much respect for people that have your kind of skill. And Katie comes on our show and that spend all this time, and nothing against the Amazon Prime cosplay.
No,
That is my cosplay.
As
It's
long
not-
as you're not trying to pass it off like
Yeah.
you made everything.
Oh, yeah, no,
then,
that's the big thing.
But
Yeah.
the people
Do
that
what
have
you
the
love.
ability to glue it and sew it and mold it and everything, that's amazing.
That's the thing. That's why I was saying with you, in order to do that, to take that much time and that much money into it, you have to the main thing is picking the character that you are the most passionate, obsessed about, because that's what's going to get you through all of those steps. For sure.
And you can wear it multiple times if you really like it too.
Yeah.
which is
Multiple
great.
photo shoots.
Thank you so very much. And if you want to catch up with some of your cosplay, some of the things that you've been working on, they can find you where?
I'm most active on Instagram, so it's instagram.com/LOVETAHNEE, Love Tahnee. So.
All right. And check it out. Some great stuff on there. All right. Who's our next guest, Tommy? All right. Cheeseman on the couch. Can you introduce who you have sitting next to you?
We got Kristen from Best Friends.
Hey.
Hi guys.
And best friends, let's go ahead, Anthony, if you don't mind, and go ahead and roll that trailer for us, and then we'll go ahead and jump into it.
Trust me, friendship before money. Can you say that?
Yeah.
What?
Trust me, friendship before money.
Right.
And that's Tommy's favorite line of the movie.
Yep.
He said
So we just
at
saw
the premiere.
Greg Sestero and Tommy Wiseau.
Together for the first time on the big screen since The Room.
I have a good story for you. A familiar story. One guy
Disappointed there's no
big
Denny
city.
though, but maybe in part 2.
They have dream, but something changed.
There's Kristen.
Greed,
Well, that was my
hatred,
first
and
shot.
jealousy.
Oh, was it? Oh, what an awkward first shot.
No.
There she is.
Got to fire a gun.
Best friends with the R in parentheses.
Or Best Fiends.
Together again. Tommy.
And Tommy's smiling. Look at that guy.
And there's Kristen. Uh-oh. Looks
Oh, hi, Kristen.
Looks dangerous. And she's with
Hi,
Greg.
Mark.
Uh-oh.
Creaking door.
Presented
Cowboy
in
guy.
2 volumes, which just cracks me up. That
It's
this
like
is
Kill
so
Bill.
How many times do you see Tommy's ass?
Well, we actually went to the Los Angeles premiere. That's where we met. And actually, why don't you tell us a little bit about your involvement with the film, how you got involved with it, and just a little bit about it.
All right, how I got involved with it? So.
Mic up a little
Sorry.
higher.
Yeah, there
you go.
There we
That's
go.
much
Sorry,
better,
guys.
much better.
Okay, so I originally got hit up on Facebook by Greg.
Oh, yeah?
I didn't know who they were. I've never seen them or
That
anything.
girl there.
What?
But for
Oh, sorry.
Hi.
No,
Let her
but for
talk.
some reason, we were friends on social media, and he sent me a message, and I almost blew it off, and then something told me, all right, well, I guess I'll reply back. And we met up over, there's like a scene where they're in the morgue or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He had me meet him there at like 8 something, like 9 at night. And I'm like, I think I'm here. And I'm like talking to my friend, like, dude, the dress is where I'm at. Like, if I don't like come out of here in like 10 minutes, call 911. Because I showed up and he had like this fake blood all over him. And then Tommy saw me. He's just like, like looking me up and down. I'm like, all right.
I like her.
Hold on.
Wait, stop for a second. Wait.
Can I ask a couple of questions? A, were you an actress before this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's got a lot of
a solid
Yes.
baseline. Good. Okay, then B. So there was no audition process. That was just like Greg, right?
Yeah, Greg hit me
He just
up.
messaged you on Facebook. It was like, hey, do you want to? Did he even say, do you want to be in a movie?
No. Well, okay. So I guess he's followed my work for a while.
Yeah.
I guess he liked what he sees. But he just wrote me and he's like, hey, we're doing this film. Is this like,
Okay.
I have a role. We're looking for a girl. I think you'd be great for it. Is this something you might be interested in? Could you give me a call? Like.
Okay, so that's not
so-
outside of the norm
Yeah.
necessarily.
Yeah, so
That's
it's
an
like-
offer. That's a legitimate offer.
But it was Facebook.
But meeting,
But it was Facebook.
which was
That's
kind of funny.
true.
I thought it was
but
kind of funny.
meeting at a morgue covered with blood's a little bit on the outside.
That's where it goes
That's
left at
where it goes-
Albuquerque. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
And then you have Justin McGregor and his brother Chris, who are also part. He's the guy who filmed it and everything.
Okay.
He shows up and he just has like the biggest smile on his face, and they're like, "So are you in? Like, you in?" Because I guess they were struggling finding a girl for the part. And I sat there and like, "Oh, okay. There's no way these guys are like working with like bad guys. Like they got great vibe. They're like fun. They're nice. Okay, I'm in." I didn't know what it was about. I didn't even get the script, and they wanted me to film the next day.
Oh my wow.
And then I was like, and then afterwards, I remember, because I saw a little bit of the clips of the room, so I immediately texted Greg, and kind of, I was like, hey, I have a question, like, does this have nudity? I didn't know because I saw, like, Tommy's butt, and I'm like, oh my god, what did I just sign up for? Like, I don't
Legitimate
know.
question.
I don't know if I just
Fair
said
question.
yes to something that was good.
Did you see the room?
I recently saw it.
Oh no!
Oh,
I just
a new
recently-
Room fan.
Yes.
There you go.
And I watched it in theaters.
Oh, did you really?
I did, and I just, oh my god, I died. I
Yeah.
laughed so hard.
It is so funny. It
is really funny. First I was like, what am I watching? And then the commentary, I was like, dude, you fans are brutal. You're so brutal. It's like savage.
Oh, so you saw it with like a room full of the people that were
Yeah.
screaming.
Yeah, like the
Yeah, I
midnight
had
screenings.
like the spoons and everything.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure what to like expect. And I texted Greg. I was like, check it. Like, I get it now. I get it.
Wow. Go ahead. You look like you had a question.
Yeah, well, I have
This is
so
all
many.
perplexing.
I
Yes,
have
I-
so many questions. Well, just as an actor myself and as an appreciator of the room and that whole phenomenon.
It is a phenomenon.
So how long was the filming? How long did you take to film this? This is done in 2 parts, so I assume is it 2 feature-length films?
It is.
Okay.
And we took it was all spread out throughout the year.
Okay.
And we just kept going and going and going, and then it became a story that just kept escalating.
Where were you guys filming?
I know they went to Vegas, and then they they filmed some in San Francisco. We went to Arizona. We did some stuff in like LA, Santa Ana, Santa Ana, and it was just kind of like all over the place.
Shout out.
Oh, the voice of God just shouted out Santa Ana
Yeah,
or
it was
what?
just, it was
Yeah,
just
it's
it was just like all over the place.
That's my home city.
Oh, there you go.
That's in Orange County.
There you go.
So,
What?
Anthony, you guys have had Tommy here in the studio, right?
Yeah, I covered that interview just like I
The
covered
day of
show.
the premiere.
The day of the premiere. Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Tommy came here the day that we
How's
met you at
that?
the premiere that night.
How's that?
Yeah. So,
so funny.
we just have to know though, like, are you prepared for the possibility that this might become another one of those cult sensations that people throw spoons and I mean, it's a different kind of film than The Room, definitely.
It's very different.
It's actually, I'll admit, it's a beautiful film.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that this film is very different from The Room. and I'm excited to see where it goes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just kind of sitting back, like I didn't know what I was getting myself into in the beginning, and the more I've learned about like who these two guys are and like the room, I'm just like, wow, like all right.
Did you see Disaster Artist?
I did.
So now you know more about
I
them.
did. Yeah, but even like getting to know Greg and Tommy in general.
Yeah, like we have a viewer
So good.
here, Dale Stafford, asking if Tommy is really as he seems, or is he just kind of putting on a personality for
Or can
people?
you say?
You know what? Tommy, what you
But
see...
who doesn't love Tommy?
I
first
tell you
of all?
what you see is what you get.
Really?
Yeah.
What you see is what you get. That is Tommy. And I think he has a very childish like heart,
Mm-hmm.
and he's very youthful. And then every once in a while, you know, he has his little moments. But for the most part, dude, that's Tommy. That is Tommy.
What was it
Pretty
like
funny.
working with him?
It was a lot of fun. He, yeah, I know he like I remember like the first few days like when we first started working together. He was like, "Oh, you're gonna be a big movie star, like all this stuff," and I'm like, "Okay, dude, like, all right, I don't know who you are, but you know." He just kept talking about like Hollywood and this and that, and he's very passionate about this industry, which is great, and it was like really refreshing. And then later on, as he starts getting more comfortable, then things start coming out. You're just he's like, "Oh, we're gonna have 1,000 babies together." And I'm like, all right, Tommy, yeah, right on.
1,000.
You know, he's like, "I love kids." I'm like laughing, and he goes,
Yeah, lots
Yeah,
of
there you
kids.
go.
So great.
and he starts asking me like, and it's funny because after I started following things up, the things he would say to me made sense. And because I remember he's like, "Oh, do you like biting? Do you like vampires?" You know, and I'm like.
Oh, that's right.
I'm like sitting there going, I don't know how to answer.
Does he really think he's a vampire?
I think he's just fascinated with vampires.
Yeah.
Like I said, personally, but
Did you guys know that he's so
yeah.
fascinated with the vampires?
I didn't.
I didn't know he's
did
fascinated.
not.
I know it was part of Disaster. I was like, oh, maybe a vampire. We see, like when he's writing the script
I
about
personally
Johnny.
think that he just likes, you know, he's into vampires.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
We do have some more questions, but can we run Anthony? We have a series of photographs.
Yeah,
That,
the behind the scenes making and some of the premiere photos as well.
Some of
So
the
that's me and you right there. I'm dressed up as Tommy from the room at the premiere, and that's actually how we met, was through doing that.
That's
And
you on
there's-
set with Tommy.
And that's actually Tommy.
That's the
Or
real
that,
Tommy.
that might be at a
Tommy.
premiere, and then that's
Taking our
you.
selfies.
Yeah.
And that's some promotional posters out there.
Nice.
No, you're on set somewhere.
That was on Arizona.
She didn't know what she was getting into.
I
Yeah.
think we can
And you-
confirm that they're outside.
And Greg Sestero in
Yep.
the van driving someplace. Is that with Greg? You and I don't know.
Yeah, that's Greg, and
Yep.
then that is
Nice pickup truck.
Yeah.
Rick.
Mm-hmm.
Who is actually, he was like one of the first like male supermodels.
Was he really?
Yeah, like he comes out in volume 2, and I tell you what,
Yeah.
I think people are gonna love his character.
Do we
There's you
see
and
his
Tommy
ass?
There. yeah.
And there's and where is this Arizona?
Yes.
Where's the horse
So-
and carriage? There?
Oh, we were like, well, that was like our little lunch break, but we were filming around the streets.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They were at
That
a.
That
Wells
last
Fargo.
picture with Tommy and I in the hallway. That was him telling me to rehearse my scenes over and over and over again.
Oh yeah.
Really? You don't take it right.
What questions do you guys have? Because
Could you tell us a little bit about your background before before you
Yeah,
got to
like
this
before
point?
this and everything.
So
yeah.
I grew up overseas in Europe and Asia,
Okay.
and then moved to Hawaii. So I started acting and modeling like back in Germany or in Japan, and then carried on to Hawaii. And then I was flying back and forth to Los Angeles from Hawaii. So I finally was like, all right, I got to make this move because this is the industry I want to be in. This is what I want to do. Let's go for it. And now here I am.
Did you grow up in Japan or?
I did.
Okay.
I went from so my first language is German.
Oh wow.
Second language
I was
is
gesagt.
Japanese.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
And then my third language is English. So
So you're trilingual.
yeah,
Good gracious.
yeah. And
I can-
I'm actually a lot more fluent in Japanese than
Seriously?
English. I am.
You can't tell.
No.
I know.
yeah,
Well,
it's
it's funny
amazing.
because when I first transferred into American school, I couldn't read or write English, and that's something that like held me back. So I was learning English, and it was so difficult. And
How old were you then? Sorry.
Huh?
How old were you then?
Like around high school
Okay.
at the time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's
and
late.
I feel like people were like, they would look at me, teachers look at me, and they're not outside.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I look like I speak it well enough to get by, and they didn't put two and two. Oh, there's different languages behind that. So I had to buckle down the hustle and start.
I don't know what it would be
God
like
bless.
learning like 2 languages. That'd be. So when did you know you wanted to be an actress?
Oh my gosh, I wanted to be an actress like since I was like 3, or actually, nah, before I even came out of my mother's womb. Like I was like, this is me. Like, come out, let's do this. I was ready.
Her headshot came out first.
I was ready. No, in Japan, I remember when I first did my first headshots, and I got my first gig afterwards. I went up to a guy in the train station, and I looked at him and I was like, look, I'm a model and an actress. I just booked a role. I'm Kristen. What's your name? And my mom's just like, oh God, this child needs to keep her mouth shut. What did I tell you about talking to strangers? The stranger danger thing never like clicked with me to this day. Hence why I met Greg in the morning.
But what about Greg? Like you've talked a little bit about Tommy. What's it like working with Greg?
You know, it's funny because I feel like a lot of people think Greg's really quiet and very reserved, which, you know, he is, but once you really start to get to know him, he's so funny.
Is he?
Oh my God, yeah. He's super funny. He has like all of a sudden, like he'll be sitting there, and then he'll say something, and you're just like, and I'm like, whoa, that came out of you. That was really funny.
Yeah. Because I see like things of him on when he's by himself and kind of doing stuff, promoting the book, and he'll have people come reenact scenes from the room with him. Like, seems like he has a lot of personality, but like when he's with Tommy, it seems like he just kind of like.
Yeah, I think Tommy. Sometimes he gets a little overshadowed by Tommy because Tommy's just a big personality.
Yeah.
And Greg's so mellow and laid back. He's just like, you know, do your thing. Like he's very humble and just like, all right, do your thing. It's like that's okay. No worries.
Are they friends now? I guess because if you watch the Disaster Artist, it's hard to tell where they've landed. You know.
Well, the thing about them is, you know, I think that ties into best fiends / best friends because I feel like the film, you know, it's based off of, according to them, it's based off of some true events that have happened, which is really fascinating to me. But I think even in the film, it's like this best friendship that happened and then it kind of goes wrong. And I don't want to be a spoiler or anything, but, you know, at the end of the day, they're very close.
Well, at the end of
You know,
episode
and even-
1 of
yes.
Best Friends, there was a lot of struggle happening. A lot,
Yes.
and I don't want to ruin the film either, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But part 2, when can we see part 2? Is that coming out soon, or do you
We
know?
might have a game changer, and we'll see. You'll just have to check out their social media page and stay tuned.
Oh,
know,
Very
because
diplomatic
They may have booked
answer.
like
we
a big,
might
big
have
part.
a game changer.
We might have a game changer. I don't even know what that means. Oh
I'm
my
really
gosh.
excited, so just stay tuned. Keep your eye out. You'll find out more about part 2, but I'll tell you something about part 2. There's a lot of characters you're going to fall in love with, and you're going to laugh, you're going to be in stitches, and you're just going to be like,
I'm so excited.
what just happened?
I am really
This was
excited.
great.
We went with a group of people and our friend Alyssa, I'm gonna call out to Alyssa. She is the biggest Tommy Wiseau fan.
She saw it and she got us all to go see it and got a group of several people to go.
And,
Yeah.
and she's a medical doctor by day, a Tommy Wiseau fan by Alyssa.
Oh yeah, I know.
I mean, she's just such a dichotomy. I love it. Yeah.
And she talks about like sometimes she has to say like, "I'm sorry, you have the." And it's like she has the whole cancer thing in the room kind of almost throws her off sometimes when she's giving diagnoses because in the back of her mind she has the room where the.
Don't
the
call her.
grandma-
Yeah, she's in there like she has to give a diagnosis. You've got cancer.
Oh, no.
Didn't she even name her cat after a cancerous disease type name or something like that?
I don't know about
I don't know this person.
We're gonna have to bring
Tell you what,
Alyssa
next
on.
time we're
great,
discussing anything room related.
Alyssa needs to come on
we'll get her on.
the show to
Yeah.
Do I know her?
salvage
Do
her.
I know Alyssa?
Well, you're gonna have to now.
I have to now. She sounds fascinating.
Super fan.
But what else is coming up for you?
For me, well, I actually have a bikini line.
Oh,
but
do you
I've been
really?
working- Yes, it's called Kakrike. I know this is kind of like
Could
a
you
hard
spell
one.
that?
It's Kakrike with an
Okay.
accent over the E.
What language?
And so, well, that was my thing. I wanted people to go, well, where's that from?
Yeah.
Because I have traveled around the world, and my background when people say, oh, well, where are you from? I'm like, you want to know where I live the longest? Do you want to know where I like the most? Because I'm kind of from all over.
Uh-huh.
So I wanted to create a brand that relates nationally, so it's more of like a melting pot kind of brand.
Mm-hmm.
But I took my older sister's name, Casey, and then mine, Kristen, and then Kelly, and just Kakrike.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's what I did.
And it kind of sounds Japanese. Yeah.
And
Yeah, there you
it
go.
sounds more Hawaiian almost.
It has like all kinds of different
Yeah.
flavors with it. And then
I wouldn't know.
I'm just keeping my fingers crossed on a few things that have just kind of popped up my way. I don't want to jinx anything, so I'm just
Right,
like, let's see what happens.
But where can they find the swimsuit line, the bikini line?
Right now, I have it on Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been selling it actually in some boutiques. So
Okay.
it's in Hawaii. It just sold out in where is it? Laguna.
Laguna Beach?
Yeah,
Mhm.
over in
Nice.
Laguna. I had in some shops over there and a shop in Huntington,
Mhm.
which sold out.
Oh, that's good.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, that's
Yeah.
good. That's awesome.
So now it's just in Hawaii, and I'm going to start throwing it up online here pretty soon. So
Oh, fantastic.
I'm excited.
Is there anything else you can tell us about the room? Anything, any insight, any...
The room, or
Best
you mean
friends.
best friends?
Oh, I'm
Best
sorry.
friends.
No,
Best friends.
We know about the room. Best friends.
Yeah.
Anything about best friends? Anything funny that
Or like
happened?
the funniest moment working
Funniest
with them.
moment. Yeah.
Okay, I think. Well, okay, I know you all have seen the cake scene.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who have seen the show or have seen Best Friends
Yep.
Part 1, there's the cake scene, which was like the hardest scene to film for some reason. It should have been really quick, but it wasn't. And I remember standing back watching Tommy and Greg's reaction with each other. Their reaction to each other is like hilarious. Okay, so he's like asking Greg like for help, and Greg's just very patient and like, all right, Tommy, like this is your line, da, da, da. And then he goes, oh, Greg, you need to focus, like you need to practice. You're not practicing, Greg. Da, da. Just telling Greg how much he needs to practice and focus and this and that, right? As soon as they say action, Tommy's like, line.
Just like this
And the whole time, he was going after Greg, like, you don't know what you're doing, like, you need to practice. And then as soon as they say action, he says line. He goes, Greg, what is my line? And I just lost it. I started laughing so hard. I was like, that was amazing.
I love Tommy when he's there. Come on, you got to come back and bring Tommy with you next time.
All right.
That'll be an adventure. Hey,
Oh, yeah. I think.
awesome. Thank you so much for coming on tonight. And
thank
people
you for
can
having me.
and where can people follow you? Keep
So
up with you.
I do a lot more on Instagram, but you can find both my Twitter and Instagram. Same name, KRIS10KESP.
All right. So we are so glad you guys came on, and please join in the conversation. We're going to finish up tonight with Infinity War talk. This is our Infinity War talk time. Just very quickly.
for this.
Yeah.
All right.
We got just a few
Bring
minutes.
Infinity War, fastest movie ever to $1 billion. It did it
In 11 days.
11 stinking days. It broke the all-time opening record, $257.7 million
Ridiculous
domestic.
amounts of money.
Money upon money. Right now, as of today, this is Monday the 7th. It's over $450 million domestic, $1.16 million worldwide. They think it'll. I read today there is a possibility it's going to be the very first summer blockbuster to possibly reach $2 billion worldwide.
Wow.
Holy
Could happen.
moly.
So, anyways, we have questions. There's stuff about Infinity War that we want to know.
Spoiler
Ben-
warning.
Oh,
Spoiler
wait, wait.
warning.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler
There it is.
alert.
Do we have a
This is
spoiler alert?
spoiler.
Spoiler alert.
There we go. There we
Spoiler
go.
alert. All right.
Spoiler alert.
All right, Ben. What are questions that you want to know?
Oh man. So here's one thing that I liked. So at the end of this movie, we already did the spoiler alert. At the end of this movie, you've got a ton of tentpole characters
Yep.
from the MCU just turning into dust and fading away. But what I thought was interesting is we still have intact the original Avengers from the first film.
The
Yes.
final,
Yep.
the
That's
original
interesting.
six.
The
That's one of the
original
first
six.
things I noticed, and I was talking about after. Same thing.
At least we're
And-
pretty sure. We didn't see Hawkeye at all in the movie.
No,
No.
we didn't see Hawkeye at all in
true.
the movie because I don't know, they didn't want to spend the money. But so
Does
I
anybody know about the actor? Like any reason behind that? Like was he filming something else, or does anyone know?
I don't know what the real world reason behind
Okay.
it is.
Yeah.
He's with his family in the movie.
In the movie, he's with his family, as is Paul Rudd's Ant-Man.
I do have a funny theory about that.
Yeah?
Yes.
Oh, let's
For,
hear the
like,
theory.
For the second part, it'll cut to like Hawkeye, like the pre-snap. It'll cut to him and his family, and they're having dinner, and then the snap happens, and you just see like his family like disintegrate right before his eyes.
That'd be so good.
And then that's when you see him grab his quiver and his arrows, and he's like, "It's time to get to action."
That would be motivation. That would be motivation.
Some people have said that Ant-Man was in this film. We just couldn't see it.
Well, yeah, there you
That's
go.
possible.
And I think I'm just looking over the topics we have to cover here. The next film, Ant-Man and the Wasp, I believe takes place before the events of Infinity
That's what I've
War.
heard.
Right, Ant-Man and Wasp comes out in just a couple months.
And then Captain Marvel also is a prequel. It takes place it's a prequel to the entire MCU,
Takes place
except
in
for
the-
Captain America, because it takes place in
In the 90s. Yep.
I'm really excited for that one.
So the next two films before Avengers 4, I was going to say Infinity War Part 2, but it's not that anymore. Before Avengers
It
4, the
is.
next two films, well, yeah,
Yeah.
but they're not calling it that,
Yeah, well.
are both prequels, technically. There's a couple things here I see, Jim, you have. I'm
You know, I do have a theory.
I apologize.
I have a theory about the deaths. I need to watch it again to confirm this, but I have to wonder if people died or lived based on how they pronounced the villain's name.
Thanos.
How many times have you seen this movie?
Thanos once.
Okay.
Wait, can you please explain what you're talking
Well, no, there's
about?
like you might hear Thanos most of the time, but I could have sworn somebody said Thanos a couple times, and then you saw like surprise Red Skull, and then he's like Thanos.
Dude, when Red Skull showed up, I was like, wow!
Yeah.
That was a great
I've
surprise.
been waiting for him to
Yeah.
show up.
I know that's so great. That's
Played by Ross of Walking Dead.
Aaron Ross.
No.
What's his name?
Ross.
Is it Aaron Ross?
No.
Oh,
Aaron's
Ross
his character.
I'm sorry.
Ross is his first
Ross
name.
Marquand.
Yeah.
Because he's known for doing
Yeah, he's
impersonations.
a professional impressionist.
Oh,
That's
so
why
it
they
wasn't
use him.
actually
Yeah, it wasn't.
Hugo Weaving.
Hugo Weaving. Okay.
But I was, and what were you?
It was also all CGI, which kind of bugged me. I was like, just put somebody in makeup. Practical effects are always
So
better.
much CGI.
Practical
my
effects are
God.
always better.
I got a little bit bent out of shape with the CGI in this.
I was actually more impressed with Thanos and Squidward than I expected to be.
I was too.
Squidward.
Well, what's his name?
Ebony Maw?
Yeah, Ebony Maw.
Yeah.
Okay.
Squidward is what we remember.
Yeah, his CGI I was very impressed with specifically. If I may just address what you say with no Adam Warlock / Will Gamora make it back. There's a theory.
Okay. For those who don't know, and if you're watching, we're sorry, Gamora died, and I was gutted. I was gutted. That just, I know, because she's making these other four stupid, but what's this
Honestly,
There's gotta be a
this sounds
Guardians
bad,
too,
but
Go ahead.
if they brought her back, I would almost be angry.
Because
Yeah.
the stakes are gone.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because,
It's,
Well-
it needs to count.
yeah.
Yeah.
It needs to mean
well,
something when
the-
they do that, you know?
And it did.
means
The
something.
Russos have confirmed, though, something that might piss you off, though.
Wait. Are you going to ruin the next movie?
Yes. No, but
No, I'm not.
it's out there. The Russos have confirmed it because
ruin it for everyone.
somebody came forward and said, "Is Gamora's soul contained in the Soul Stone?
Yeah.
Was that what happened?" And they said, "Yes, it is." Now, in the comic books, characters like Adam Warlock and Gamora have
You're
both
so
escaped
disappointed.
from the pocket universe contained within the Soul Stone.
Wait. I didn't know you were
Nerd
going to
alert.
ruin the next movie.
Yeah.
This has been in the comics for years.
We can only ruin
Yeah,
this
but
one.
lots and lots of people have not read any of these
Yeah, yeah.
comics and are enjoying the movies
Let's
where they are.
only ruin
so
this
let's not.
movie.
I'm not saying what's going to
Because of this.
happen in the
Yeah.
movie. I'm saying this is
No,
what's
I've already heard
contained
other stuff
in
that's contained in the
comics.
comics that I did not want to know about.
There's always
Too bad
some,
they're out
there's
there.
always some
But
loophole,
still.
though, right? There's
Stop it.
always
Stop
some
it.
loophole.
Right now.
The Earth is round. We've been to the moon.
Go back to the
Spoiler
dark
alert.
side.
Shut up. It was a set.
All right. Anyways, I think Gamora's dead for now.
Do you think she's gonna stay dead though? Because I don't.
I don't think she
I
is
don't.
either, and
There's
I agree
no
with
way.
you that kind of ruins it.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Having a time travel stone ruins it because then nobody's really dead.
Do you know what it is? It's kind of like
Nobody's
the
ever
boy.
dead in
It's
the
the boy
MCU
who
anyway.
cried wolf. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like you're like every single time. Eventually, you're just gonna not pay attention to it. It's
like-
not gonna mean enough.
It's like the show
you know?
Supernatural. You don't really die on that show.
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing
It's like killing Glenn.
right. Name somebody.
She's an unkillable. She was an unkillable, and they did it.
Name somebody in the MCU that has died and stayed dead.
Quicksilver.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
a solid point. Solid point. I stand corrected. But besides Quicksilver, Coulson.
No, Coulson's.
Name a character who has had
No, he's
their
not.
own film and has died.
Yeah, this is true.
There's no stakes to any of these movies.
Here's
by
the way I
way.
think it's
This is
gonna.
true.
This I don't know how if Gamora comes back, but I was hoping that if she does come back, that it's in Guardians 3. We don't see her come back in Infinity War. She stays dead.
I think Loki may stay dead.
I think Loki's dead.
I think Loki
he-
may
yeah,
stay
that
dead.
was-
That was more sad to me than Gamora.
I know.
He's finally good, and now he's
I
dead.
know.
I was at the press conference, at which I went to the press conference for Avengers, where I received these lovely Ziploc bags with
He packs his lunch every
Avengers
day, and
on the
with
front.
Avengers bags.
This is the most ridiculously funny swag bag I ever got. I had
And cheap.
Yeah, it's cheap. But anyways, I think that Loki is dead because during the during the press conference he goes, "I'm just surprised I made it this far." That's all he said. He goes, "I've fallen through a black hole. I've been killed a couple of times." I think, and then like they all looked at him like, "Shut up, stop! You're giving stuff away."
Have you seen the video? Oh, go ahead, Anthony.
Yeah, I just wanted to make this point across. I was like, the only like saving grace that I see from like this film killing off all these people and whatnot is not the fact that they're like we all know they're gonna come back. Like, granted, not all of them.
But at least
damn
some.
sure a lot of them though. You
Peter
know?
Parker's gonna
So
come
like,
Yeah.
So like a great point that I heard in one of the podcasts that I was listening to about the film is that although they will come back, their mentality about their whole being will change because of the fact that they have died.
Yeah.
And the fact that, and also like the players are still alive have to deal with those deaths. They don't know that they're gonna come back because of course they're like they're
Right.
comic book characters.
Right.
And so like I find that to be the saving grace, at least for all those deaths, for me personally, to make him to give it more like emotional gravitas. It's
I
like,
agree.
I want to
Yes.
see how
I-
Peter comes back
I was
and
just
deals with
gonna
his own
say,
death. I
I-
want to see how Gamora deals with her own
I kind of
death.
wish he hadn't died though, because I like Peter Parker being young and sort of awkward.
Yeah.
and I. You
And
know,
now that he's
I don't want him to
experienced
lose
death, it's
that.
almost like he's
Yeah.
becomes this adult that has
Yeah, I don't want him to
experience.
lose that yet.
And even
yeah.
even knowing that he was coming back, I think that was the most painful death for me to see on screen.
Yeah.
Because he's like hugging Tony and crying.
Yeah.
That was
the best.
that was hard.
That
Kids are
He's
quick
a
to
sweet
return
kid.
back to their old ways. He'll be fine.
By the way-
he'll be back to being old Peter.
Did you
But
s-
I think everybody that dissolved probably has a sequel. 'Cause
Well,
most of it's Black
much.
Panther,
Yeah.
Of course, this is
As
Disney.
Guardians,
This is Disney.
Doctor Strange.
Right.
Let's all start working on pre-production of their movies when we can
Here's
focus
a
on-
scary thought. What
Yeah.
if Peter Parker comes back as emo Spider-Man like we
Oh,
saw in
God.
Spider-Man?
Oh gosh.
Yes.
All right. By the way, I saw the video, the pictures today. The original 6 Avengers all got tattoos. Did you guys see it?
Oh, yeah, I
with
saw
the
that.
A with the 6 on it. The original 6.
Aw,
So I think
pretty cool.
they do come back in the next movie. I am pretty sure that they will not all survive this. They will
No.
sacrifice themselves to save everybody else. I'm pretty sure that will happen.
I would say for sure Avengers 4 is going to be Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr.'s last.
That's their swan song.
I'm sure of that. Everybody else, I don't know.
I'm not-
Did
I
you
think
say
Hemsworth's
Swan
got
Song?
some
I was
more.
just gonna say that. I think Chris Hemsworth he's ready to go. I don't know why.
I think Hemsworth has got some more in it.
Hemsworth, yes, but
Yeah.
I've heard that Thor 3 was the resuscitation and the renaissance of the Thor character.
Yeah, I
and
think
so
it just-
yeah.
But he's gonna be in the Guardians now because him and Pratt gonna have that
They have
kind of
some-
like
yeah,
one
they-
up
Him and
each
Pratt
other.
was fun.
That was
I
like
wanna
the best
Repartee.
part. is
Yeah.
I wanna
the-
see
Oh,
a-
I agree.
I would say
Yeah,
a
the
Thor.
dynamic
I
between
would say
them.
Thor and Rabbit have their own film. That would just be great.
That would be amazing.
Dude,
Yeah.
Stormbreaker Thor,
Pretty intense.
so bad.
Here's a question. So like Thor's hammer, can they just grow a new Groot out of that? See?
I thought about that.
Yeah?
I did think about that when
That-
I saw that. I was like, huh. Is it? But like, you know how like he's just so strong that I'm wondering.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the difference that's going to make on his? You know what I mean? On his hammer
Mm-hmm.
compared to his old one. I was thinking about that. Going, I wonder if like it'll have like something. It's got to have something extra,
Yeah,
right?
some special
Some kind of
property
special,
because it
like
was
extra because of
Groot
your
branch.
All right.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. Oh, here he is. I keep on pulling my toys out.
Hey.
Wait. Let's see what he says. Whatever. Do you
Good
think,
one.
I am seeing a lot of shade thrown, and we do have
Yes,
to kind
I'm
of
just-
wrap up
We
here.
do.
Do you
We've
guys see
gone
the?
long.
So much shade.
Do you guys see
I felt
the
a lot of shade.
Do you see the shade being thrown at
Yes,
Star
but
Lord?
deservedly so.
Oh, people are
on.
calling him
Yeah.
a mass murderer.
Come on. Like, he's literally like, give me one more second and we got it. You know, it's like, and he's got his head crushed.
I know.
And he's like, nope. Like,
Yeah,
come
but
on.
but
I don't know.
you know people wrote the script, right?
Yeah.
And then
It can't
Chris
just
Pratt
be over.
I-
Yeah,
Chris
So-
Pratt
is an
just
actor.
did what they
Yeah.
what they wrote.
And
in
he's
the
the
script.
most
no,
likable,
so-
so he can do the most unlikable thing,
Chris
right?
Pratt was
Well, so-
recruited and had to show up at a morgue in the middle of the night. And that's when he found out what he was
Well,
doing.
I'm not criticizing Chris Pratt here. I'm criticizing Star-Lord.
Yeah,
Doctor Strange said it was
Sure.
the only way, so he had to punch
That's
Thanos.
true, that's
because
true.
this was the only scenario.
That was the only
worked.
scenario.
whatever
Well,
happened.
he's like the only character who would actually do that too.
Right.
Let's be real. Like,
Because
he's-
if they pull the if he does wait one more second, they pull the glove off. Movie's done. They defeated Thanos.
Yeah.
Why didn't? Okay,
But it's
two things.
Too bad we're not giving you any more money,
No less
Disney.
frustrating, nonetheless.
Why didn't they just stab Thanos in the head when they had him like
Yeah.
all immobilized?
Yeah.
Or
there?
try
Yeah,
to
yeah,
cut
yeah.
off his arm.
Yeah, or do something. Or why didn't Doctor
Yeah.
Strange reverse it and bring? I
Because
don't know.
this was the only way.
There are probably
Out
reasons.
of
Was the only
out of
scenario
10
out
million
of 14
scenarios.
million
Yeah, 14
scenarios.
All right, guys, we do have to wrap. Any last questions? Do you have any, on the couch? Any questions from the couch about Infinity War? That are burning questions.
I loved it.
Any more fans chiming in?
Well, someone's talking about how SNL killed Hawkeye's kind of like, well, he's not really needed because
haven't-
of their comedy. Like, what does he do? Oh, he has like one arrow he can shoot. So,
Hawkeye's
thank you,
coming
Dale.
back. He's coming back. He's coming
Okay.
back. Any other questions? Any burning questions that we have for Avengers Infinity War? What? I mean, like, what is Ant-Man going to do? I mean, really, when he comes.
I feel like they're setting up Captain Marvel
Crawl
to
up
be
his
like
nose.
Marvel's answer to Wonder Woman.
I agree.
100%.
Oh, they absolutely.
Yeah.
And that ending scene was so
Yeah.
great. BT Dubs, just a side note because we talked about this earlier. They did acknowledge Infinity War in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in this last week's episode,
yeah.
but they're kind of like talking about it. And there's an alien kind of a conglomerate called the Confederacy, and they are talking about like Earth is in trouble, Thanos is coming, and blah blah blah. And so it's taking place
Yeah.
during the events of unlike like when Thor: The Dark World came out, and then the next week's episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was them cleaning up after
that,
Thor:
yeah.
The Dark World. This
But
episode is now taking
these
place
events
during
obviously
the
affect
storyline.
everyone.
Yeah.
There's no there is nobody on the sidelines anymore, really.
And the other question I saw online was like, so Jessica Jones and Luke Cage are just like not doing anything. Daredevil's not doing anything while
good point.
aliens are in New York. Like
Those are mature.
I didn't even think
they're
about
just
that.
like
That's really-
hanging out.
Hey, those aliens didn't want to go near Hell's Kitchen.
That's true.
Okay,
I want Deadpool and Thanos to have a.
Can you imagine
Yeah.
if Deadpool gets pulled into Thanos?
Yeah.
By the way, the reason that Kevin Feige says that, the reason that Marvel is not going to Comic-Con is because they can't give any kind of clues as to
Yeah.
what's going to happen. They can't announce the movies that are coming because that would give away this. And it's
Well,
all.
Black Panther, Guardians 3,
We know those are-
Spider-Man, and everybody else that disappeared.
But there's been another Black Panther. There's been another Spider-Man. Like different human characters have taken on those roles, so they could go that direction. So those have been announced. Guardians of the Galaxy. We have all kinds of people who can take that mantle. So.
Technically.
So the reason that they're not going to this year at Comic-Con, they are celebrating 10 years of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but they will not be giving any previews or first looks at films to come because that just gives stuff away. Whew. Anything else before we wrap tonight, guys? Anything? Avengers Infinity War. If you haven't seen it twice yet, the second time's
I've only seen it once.
the second
I
time's
want to see
better.
it in 3D. I don't care if people are anti 3D. I want to see it.
It
in
is the
3D, see
biggest-
what
I
it's
need
like.
to see it. Have
3D.
you guys done 4D? I mean,
No, I was about to say that.
Have you done 5D?
You gotta
They
do
have it in 4D?
You gotta do 4D. I saw. No, I didn't see this in
Like
4D,
Captain
but I
EO?
saw Ready Player One in 4D, and it was incredible. It was
Oh,
made
wow.
for 4D.
Did the chair
Yeah.
move and
Yes.
everything?
There was water. Like when there were flowers on screen, you would smell the flowers.
Get out of here.
was
That's
Gotta try that out.
Yeah.
all right.
Too much.
Yeah.
Too much
4D.
stimulation.
All right.
Deal. Done.
Thank you for tuning in this week to the Comic-Con Prep Show. We hope that, again, that you will subscribe to us. We have a lot of fun here. Please let us know what you think. You can find us at theconguy.com. That's theconguy.com. Where can we find you guys?
Hi, I'm Derek. You can find me on Twitter at ConGuyDerek.
Oh, and you.
Find me at Love Tahnee on Instagram.
Hey, I'm Ben Kliewer. You can find me on all social media at Ben Kliewer, BenKliewer. It's very German. Also, ABC, please renew Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I haven't been on it yet.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Or go to Netflix.
no.
Renew it
I'm
so I
kidding.
can be on it.
Yeah.
We're
All right, I'm Kristen StephensonPino. You can find me at Kristen, Kesp.
And soon we can find you in.
Oh, and check out Best Friends, Best Fiends, Volume 1 and 2.
Yep, coming soon.
And I'm Cheeseman on the Couch. You can find me on Twitter at CheeseOnCouch and on theconguy.com.
All right. This has been a great show, guys. Thank you for everything. Everybody go see Avengers again, right?
Oh, come on.
All right. See you guys soon. All right.
You'll love them.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.